How's it? Today is Wednesday, November 9th, and um, I had a pretty good training day today. I was expecting it to be a lot more challenging and a lot more misses than I had today. Um, I'm dealing with some stuff, but I was able to make it in today and make the best of the situation. It is work up to 3 kilos more than I did last week for my pause plus two back squat sets. So I work up to 123 today. Um, the actual individual sets, up aside from the last set, were actually not that hard. But as I was warming up my hips, my left hip flexor has just been giving me a lot of issues. It kind of had some issues in like at full depth here. This is my first set. Um, if I have speed and then I rebound out of the hole with like the I don't even know what it's called anymore. The concentric, eccentric concentric cycle, whatever. It doesn't hurt, but if I pause and then try my best to hold tension all the way through while I'm pausing, but sometimes it just doesn't happen, and then it hurts when I push out of the hole. Um, I do want to say that the last set, I guess I said it earlier, that everything was pretty easy aside from the last set. The last set was ridiculously hard. Doing 9 reps at 123. This one here, watch this. Yeah, I knew. I don't know what I was trying to do there. I think for my pause sets, so at this one I did a one regular and then one pause and then one regular, and I didn't know why I did it like that. I do know that as I was watching the individual sets before these, I feel like my hips were not set back as far as I normally would like them to be. Like even on this one here, um, it seems like I'm fairly upright. So I was trying my best to set my hips further back, and then what ended up happening was I ended up going for a um, normal squat. Here's my last set here. So I believe I do 9. Let's see. One, two. Like these are hard. These are hard. Three, four. I'm getting sloppy here. Five. Hip positioning is terrible. Six. Looks pretty bad. Seven. It's just slowly getting worse. Eight. And then one more here. Yeah, so I end up doing 9, which is the correct amount. But yeah, I am struggling with that. I thought I would be having a little bit more of an easy time with this one here today. I think that in my head I was like, all right, like when I get to like 130 or so, that's when it's going to start to get hard. But 123 for that last set is hard. All the other sets were pretty easy. So we'll see what happens as I move forward next week. After that, I moved into my power cleans, which are now power clean plus hang clean. So last week I had the intention of doing 105 for power clean triples. It did not happen. I ended up doing like one power clean plus one, and then a one plus two at some point. But today was the first day I intentionally went in thinking that power clean plus hang clean. So this is my last warm up set here at 100. I don't do the two hang cleans just because if I can do one, it's like, all right, like I'm gonna save my energy, and I think that was the right move overall. Um, so all of these are actually powers, pretty good powers at that. These cleans here are a little bit inconsistent. I think my chest is behind the bar here, and similarly, it's even worse probably on this second rep here. Yeah. So I'm pulling heavily with my arms. I'm relying on my arms for positioning, which at the end of the day is not great, but I've shown the propensity to do it, so I'm just gonna work with what I have. Um, After that, these hang cleans um, are just getting increasingly more difficult, but I think my technique for them has improved from set one to set three. As far as my upper back goes, my upper back pain is not super strong, which is a great sign for me. I think in the past, 105 or so is right when it would start to hurt. So 110 powers, 105 powers, of course, are a little bit problematic. But these are working okay. And then um, as I catch, this is a solid one. That was my last set. As I catch that hang clean, if I catch it more violently and less uh, tentatively, then it seems like my upper back is in more favorable position overall. And then after that, I did my clean pulls, which again are still the thing that I just have to think about. Where I'm like, all right, like I just gotta do this. I just gotta suck it up and just do it. And so for the most part, I do the first two on each of these sets pretty well, and then the third one ends up becoming a deadlift with sort of a lean back. There's no real extension, and I kind of hate myself for that because I am trying my best to be as like dialed in and as precise as I can be. Like that's just a lean back. What the hell is that? Um, I think that me having this sort of attitude towards this is not great because I end up wasting a lot of time and wasting a lot of energy, like mental energy, just trying to figure out why I'm doing these, and then I end up wasting a lot of physical energy by actually running through them. And I think it's valuable practice that I'm just not getting. I'm missing out on a lot. And I would like to be better about them in the future. I'd like to be more deliberate with them just so that they mean more overall. After that, I moved into my overhead press, which, if you remember from last week, was not super great. So 2 weeks ago, I was trying to do 3 sets of 5 at 67. I ended up doing 1 set of 5, and then I did like down sets at 60. Not like 3 sets of 5 at 60, I think. Last week, I tried my best to just replicate it because if everything before the overhead press is getting more intensity, if my ability to maintain the same amount of like intensity and volume and reps on those sets would mean that I'm getting stronger. You know what I mean? Just because I'm being spread more thin, the energy availability is not as good as it was the week prior. But I ended up only doing sets of 5 last week because the sets of 5 at 60, because the sets of 5 at 60 were just so difficult. Um, so I wanted to do today 67 for 3 sets of 5. Honestly, I felt like with the first 2 reps on this set, I felt like I would be able to do it. But as I got more and more into it, you see this here. That's the 5th rep. That is just ridiculous. And I was like, all right, there's no way I'm going to be able to do another set of 5 here. And I'm pretty disappointed in myself. So I actually lowered it to 60 here. And I was going to repeat exactly what I did 2 weeks ago for 3 sets of 5. But again, on the last rep for this set of 5, it just grew impossibly difficult. And I was like, I'm just going to call it there. Look how slow that is. That's so ridiculous. Afterwards, I finished off with some dips and then my back extensions. Yeah, not too much else to say about that. I think as far as the cleans go, I'm very surprised with how I performed. I'm pretty proud of how I did, um, just given circumstances. And yeah, we'll see what happens moving forward. Maybe I'll start doing some dragon flags like I mentioned I would a few days ago. But yeah, that's all for today. Thank you for watching. Shoots.